Thought I'd share something that happened to me on the bus back to Portland. The bus out of Sacramento was full to the point of people standing in the aisle. I was apt 5 or 6 rows from the very back, and had just moved my seat so that a guy could sit with his friend, who he said had special needs. A guy in a khaki uniform up at the front of the bus used the intercom to announce that he was with some drug interdiction task force or other and that they had drug-sniffing dogs under the bus, and that they were going to be going through the bags that people had with them. The people in the aisles, one right in front of me, the other at the very back of the bus, others up front, started talking to people, asking them where they were headed and whether they were carrying any drugs or weapons and could they go through their bags. I freaked. This is why my account of what he said is kinda spotty. I was too busy panicking to listen real closely. He did not say up front that we could deny them access to our bags, of this I am sure. He did say that anyone who wanted to could leave the bus. I.e., I think, relinquish your possessions. I couldn't think of a suave way to get in my bag and ditch stuff, and I got irrational real fast. I distinctly remember thinking, I bet my face is red and if I tell them they can't go through my bag, they'll _no_. So instead of rolling the dice and seeing what would happen if I stood on my constitutional rights, what did I do? I let them go through my bag. This was a drug test, and I failed it. Now, I got lucky. The guy spent a lot of time going through my clothes, and he didn't even open the part of the bag that had what I didn't need him to find. I had told him that part contained toiletries. As he went through my stuff, I took the time to think, if he asks me where I've been, I'll tell him the city, which he'll know from my ticket, but I sure haven't been staying with anybody. Wish I could blank my hard drive real quick like. After my bags had been gone through, I heard one of them tell somebody, "You can say no when I ask you if I can go through your bag." So anyway, this is a cautionary tale. Even somebody as well educated in rights and as generally incooperative as me can cave in totally when confronted by a surprise situation in an enclosed environment. It's good, in a way, that this happened. See, I am now committed on a bone-deep level that nobody goes through my shit again ever. But I sure would feel better about it if I'd passed the test. Erowid note. Unfortunately, state and federal narcotics officers have been engaging in random bus sweeps for some time now. Of course, there is no question that what is really happening socially is that the poor and lower classes are being harassed at astronomically higher rates than the rich, and this is just one piece of that. In a major decision in this area, Florida vs. Bostock, 000 U.S. 89-1717, June 20, 1991, 6-3, the Florida Supreme Court ruled that bus sweeps of this kind were unconstitutional because they trapped innocent travelers in extremely hostile search situations and even reasonable, law-abiding citizens would be unable to say no because of the level of coercion. The Supreme Court of the U.S. overturned this ruling and said that pervasive and random bus sweeps, using armed officers, interviewing and searching people on the bus, and asking them in forceful language to comply were _totally okay _ and that any reasonable person would certainly know they had a right to refuse to cooperate. Bus sweeps are legal and constitutional in the U.S. under the Rehnquist-Scalia fascist court. Not to sound too bitter winking face. They should be required to identify themselves as officers of the state in some way, but they don't need to show a badge.